Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on a Sunday morning locker room on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Good morning, PT.
Billy Baroo.
So, Pete, it's been a long week for me after losing to you at golf last Saturday at the Great Bay Country Club.
Yeah, you did. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
Listen, I found out exactly what was bothering me. I think it was the gout, because I had some gout medicine, indomethacin, left over at my house from during the summer when I had it. So I figured, you know what, let me just take it, because if the pain was so great, but it wasn't in a joint, it was in the ball of my foot. So I'm thinking, well, it could be plantar fasciitis. Well,
uric acid crystallizes and deposits in the joint.
In joints.
Pain, redness, swelling, often the big toe.
But it wasn't. It was the middle three. So anyway, I took the indomethacin for a whole 2 days, and guess what? My foot's fine.
Well, there you go.
So it had to be
You want to play? You want to play another round then?
Yeah, I think we need to play another round.
You need a rematch?
Yeah, I think we should.
Hey, before we get too deep into things, I have to thank the folks at Burke Motor Group. I was scheduled to be there yesterday for an appearance, and I had a personal matter to attend to. And Burke Motor Group, they had their big car show, and Sturdy Savings Bank and Burke combined to donate $7,150 to the Cape May County Coast Guard Community Foundation. So Francie Burke, Dave Burke, Doug Burke, all the people down there do such an outstanding job. And of course, they wanted the PT to be involved with that. And I apologize that I wasn't able to be there, but I know Cassidy Walsh from the station here did a great job for us. And of course, 97.3 was down there, so I just myself wasn't down there. But thank you to everybody involved with Burke Motor Group, and I did want to give them a shout out right off the bat to tell them what a great job they did.
Everything is okay with you and yours.
Everything is now, thank goodness.
All
yes,
right.
everything is.
PT, you know what I noticed the last 2 weeks? Is it my fault or your fault? We haven't played the Eagles fly song.
Now that one is my fault.
Are you like souring?
No. 2 weeks ago, I was totally souring. I will not tell a lie. 2 weeks ago, they were not worthy of getting the fight song played. Okay, they're in Detroit. We thought Detroit was going to win. Everybody picked Detroit. You picked them. I picked them.
That's right.
Everybody picked Detroit to win.
No, not really. Scotty Grayson had the Eagles. Scott McKay had the Eagles.
Some optimists.
And I think Josh had the Eagles.
Well, you and I didn't, and neither did Mike Gill. In fact, that's funny. That's part of the reason why I forgot to play the fight song this morning. I was talking to the fine host of the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN, literally like 30 seconds up to, I said, okay, got to go. Break's running, okay, got to go. The Open's running. Okay, see ya.
Well, it's Eagles Sunday, and we've got the Chargers in town for a 4:05 start today.
Yeah, this works out really, really well for me because I can come in here and suffer through this with you. And then and then I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to pull your move. I'm going to hop out. I'm not leaving early. No, that's your move. I'm not leaving early.
Well, you don't have to today.
Right. Now, 2 weeks from today, we might as well plant that seed now. 2 weeks from today, somebody else has to produce the show. I don't know who drew the short stick. I don't know if it's Josh or Gil. Yeah, when they play the Saints at home, I'm going to that game. And there's no way I could leave here at noon, get there in time, and get my butt in the seat. So that is...
Well, the Schweiner pulled it off.
Yeah, because you left after an hour.
True. That's true. The show can't go on without you. You hit the buttons.
So, but Gil can hit the buttons just fine. So can Josh.
So here's another thing.
I'm pulling executive privilege.
Here's another aspect of you going to the games instead of me. I'm 0 for 3 at home games.
Right.
The Eagles have not won a home game all season.
And they're going to win one today.
So I would
and
imagine
they're going to do
in
by running the football,
which they did for 236 yards last week.
Unbelievable, right? I mean, nobody saw that coming. Certainly not me. So, look, the formula is as obvious as the nose on my face, right? It is as obvious as the green that I'm wearing on the StreamYard. This is my radio uniform for today. My ShopRite LPGA perfect green color that matches up with my Kelly green hat. However, you know what I'm going to wear up to the game, right?
Right, your jersey.
That's right.
What number do you have?
Harold Carmichael.
Oh, I love that jersey.
Dude,
that's a nice one.
So
we had former Eagle John Bunning on the show yesterday.
Oh, I like John Bunning.
The newest member of the Rowan University Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's outstanding.
We also got to talk to him about
and he's one of Dick Vermeil's guys, right? I mean, look, isn't it amazing that all this time later, all the people that were Dick's guys are still like, they just love the guy. They just swear by him and talk about him as almost like they almost deify him, like he's a holy guy. I mean, he's like the Pope.
He is. Look, every single person that we've had a lot of former Vermeil players, right, on this show. And to a man, they all speak very highly of Coach Vermeil.
Yeah,
and they loved him like a father. They'd run through a wall for him.
Yeah, even the guys that like he couldn't give jobs to, like Dave Klemick, that's here in the area, the local Dave Klemick, who was on the Kansas City Chiefs roster.
And he was on the show. He's on the program
and made it all the way. I mean, he played in preseason games, made it all the way through. Had that horrific injury, but even Dave Klemick, I mean. When he had his first child, Dave has a daughter, I believe. And when he had his child, he made sure to take the daughter out to get blessed by Grandpa Dick, Grandpa O'Neill, right? Or Grandpa O'Neill, Grandpa Vermeil. Sorry, I have no idea where O'Neill came from.
Pete, we got a great show lined up today. Every Sunday, we get you prepared for Eagles football with Scott Grayson, Fox 29 News sports anchor. Also, you can follow him on 97.3ESPN.com. And then catch him every Monday on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill for Grayson's Grades. We have him at 10:15 every day. And then, of course, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, checks in. I think the guru's going to the game as well today.
Oh, there you go. So basically eliminating you is going to be the key.
So if the Eagles win today, all right, then I'm the jinx. We know I'll never go to a game again. Well, by the way, I'm not scheduled to go to any more games. That's not true. I'm not scheduled to go to any more games this year, by the way.
Is that what it is?
Well, I couldn't afford anymore.
They are expensive.
All right, Pete, before we get into our Eagles talk, how about our winter teams? The Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia 76ers.
It was a good night to not leave the house. It was a good night to sit there and watch those games. Now, you and I believe, had the same viewing habits. I watched the Flyers game post to post, right? I even caught a little of pregame, on pregame. You know whose birthday it was yesterday?
No, I do not.
The Corn Boy, Keith Jones. So they wrapped up, they gave him like these gift bags on the air and they wrapped them up. And then Taryn Hatcher's like, I want you to open it on the air. So he opens it up and it's like a can of steamed corn. And he starts laughing and he's like, oh, this looks delicious, And Jim Jackson says, his lady wishes he would look at her the way he looks at that canned corn, right? And then so Hartnell gave him a gift. Scotty Hartnell was on the show. He gave him a gift too, and then he opens up and it's another can of steamed corn. The funniest part, and this is Billy, this is a you move, right? Jim Jackson's wrapping up the thing and says, and now for blah, 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 blah. And you hear like, and he goes, and my partner Keith Jones, who apparently can't stay for the last read. Like you heard Jones, he put his headset down and boom. I love that stuff.
So a couple notes on the Flyers. The Flyers have earned at least 1 point in 6 of their last 7 meetings in Washington. They're 5-1-1. The Flyers have earned 8 of their first earned points in 8 of their first 10 games.
Yeah, they've been really, really.
I
mean, like I didn't see that coming, especially off of Pittsburgh, where they sort of looked. It took them a while to get started, and the big storyline last night I thought was the great 8, Alex Ovechkin, and he's absolutely killed the Flyers. Did you see the graphic they put up in 63 games against the Flyers?
No, I did not.
He has 42 goals, 29 assists for 71 points, and 18 of those goals have come on the power play. They also talked about the fact that, he's now 36, so you thought like, oh, maybe he's losing a little bit, right? Or he's not as good as he used to be, right? At 36 years and 48 days, the guy has 18 points for the first 10 games of the season.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, do you know the list that he's on? Let me read you the 4 other guys that were on this list. I took a picture of this too. Mario Lemieux, right, had when he was 37 years old in 2002-03 season, had 23 points.
Right.
The Rocket, Maurice Richard, had 19 points when he was 36 and 88 days. Wow. And then I have never heard of Phil Goyette. Have you?
Never.
He's an old St. Louis Blue, and he had 19 points through the first 10 games when he was 36 years old in 6 days. The reason you haven't heard of him was because that season was 1969-70.
Right.
But, I mean, it's just to think about what Ovechkin's doing. Now, you did watch enough of the game to know. And here's a stat you didn't read, by the way.
The last 9 minutes, I was sitting on the edge of my seat.
How could you not?
They were peppering
Martin Jones, 3 out of 3. Thank God he stopped 31 of the 32. They're 5-0-1, Billy. The Flyers are. Well, now they're 6-0-1 when scoring first this season.
Right.
So the fact that they popped in a goal, and the way they popped in that goal. And what's interesting too, you remember, now I don't know if you remember this or not, but I used to produce Flyers pre and post.
Right.
Now, I wasn't like the main guy. I was like the backup to the producer. And so there's usually one of two guys. It was either Casey Feeney or it was Joe Fordyce. Now, Joe Fordyce pretty much does all the Flyers ones now. Great guy, right? And Joe really watches the game in a way that even I don't think I watch the game, right? So he picked up last night on the fact that the whole first goal, that Brassard goal, that came because Ovechkin was on the ice for about 1:40.
He was
dude, 1:40. Well, because he stayed out there, and then the Capitals iced the puck.
Right.
And you actually saw him say a word that rhymes with truck on the TV, right? Because he knew he had to stay on the ice, and then it was down in their end. The Flyers kept the puck in and ultimately scored on a great play. And you know what?
I got to tell you, though, Pete, the winner teams, the Flyers and the Sixers, and we'll get into it a little bit. We got Grayson coming up on the other side, but I'm impressed with the Sixers, especially without Ben Simmons.
Now, that was unbelievable, too.
Right. We'll get into that a little later.
My God. Ovechkin played 22 minutes last night, 22-16. 6 shots on goal. He was a -1. Wow.
All right. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on your house. Hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or shoot Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. Also want to remind people, the locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal. Get down to Blitz's during the Eagles season and get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long in 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. When we return, we'll talk with Scott Grayson. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. You know, Pete, we have a new hotline sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Maserati of the main line.
Oh, way to go, Ghibli.
Is now taking the Ghibli midsize.
Yeah, way to go. I forget the guy's name.
So Michael Pileggi.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Michael.
Pileggi.
How could I forget Michael Pileggi?
So they'll be
Wasn't
doing that
he
throughout
in
the
that
winter.
CBS show Wise Guys?
Yeah. So each and every
we
Sunday,
love you, Michael.
as our unofficial Eagles pregame show, we have Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, the sports anchor. Watch him Sundays, Sports Sunday.
And Grayson's Grades.
Grayson's Grades on
that.
the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Yeah.
97.3 ESPN.com. He's all over the place.
Yeah, he's got the baby seat in the back of the car if you're watching on the StreamYard. He's Mr. Mom. He's basically Father of the Year. Not that you're bad yourself, Billy, but Grayson really gets after it.
Wait till I show Grayson the pictures of what I had to do last night with my daughter. I had my hair
That's
all
truu.
Purple and pink and everything.
Yeah.
So let's go to
Daddy can't do that. He has to be on television later. That's a wonderful line to be able to say to your kid.
Talking about makeup,
Billy, you got a face for radio.
So let's go to the Maserati, the mainline sports hotline, and welcome in the man himself, Scott Grayson. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
So Grayson, you're a father and you have a small one. My daughter's 6, and I was telling Pete I was trying to watch the Flyers, the Sixers, and the football game. She was doing my hair. I had pink in my hair. I had more gobs of whatever she put, spray, all night long. Till about 9 o'clock, we sent her to bed.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to learn to start putting them to bed earlier when you want to watch a game.
Grayson, big game today. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to play host to the Chargers. Now, last week, Scott, I think about this. The last 2 or 3 years, every week we say run the ball. So last week, they run the ball. Will they be able to continue to run the ball? Listen, another thing, the Chargers have lost their last 2 games, and the Ravens ran all over them.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers are not a good run defense team. Their stats show that. They've gotten a little better over the last few weeks, but they're among the league's worst at defending the run. So common sense would say you stick with the run. I don't have full faith yet to believe this coaching staff will do that. They did the easy thing last week. They did what we all said they should do, and they did it well. The question is, what did they learn from it? And I look at the Eagles' offensive line last week, and I say, listen, if this Chargers defense is bad at stopping the run, then I really think you have to at least try to start the game that way. This offensive line did a great job last week dominating. Why you would not let them start this game the same way would defy all common sense. So I got to believe they're going to do that. And you look at this line and you say, hey, they were banged up before. And I found myself sitting here waiting to talk to you guys. And I thought, on this line, look, Lane Johnson's come back. He was effective. Jason Kelsey's a great run blocker. Jordan Mailata is a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. And quite frankly, guys, Landon Dickerson has filled in admirably. We don't say his name. And if you don't say a lineman's name, it usually means they're playing well. And I think let the strength of this team lead you, which is that offensive line. And I think if they do that, it should really allow a lot of things to open up offensively.
Justin Herbert for the Chargers really hasn't played well in his last 2 games. 2 weeks ago, they lost 34-6 to the Ravens, and then last week 27-24 to the Pats. But against the Ravens, he was 22 of 39 for only 195 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception, like very pedestrian-like. And we get the Anthony Harris back this week, I believe. So, and the Eagles dialed up some blitzes last week, so maybe that's the recipe for a win this Sunday today.
Yeah, I mean, what last week did from that standpoint was it showed the Chargers that they can do this stuff. It can be effective, and they're going to have to be prepared for it. Whether or not Gannon will stay as aggressive remains to be seen. I think the players would like him to stay that way. I think certainly a lot of us fans would like to see the Eagles stay aggressive on defense. And quite frankly, I want to see them come out and be aggressive on defense early because I think the game plan needs to be similar. I look at the Chargers and I say, Austin Eckler's the guy I don't want to beat me today. Do not let him beat me today. So I know they've got better receivers than the Lions did, and certainly Mike Williams is a handful, and you got to keep an eye on him. But I'd rather see, and here's the key, and the reason why I want to see them be aggressive early with some blitzing, hit Herbert. He's got what we don't know yet what his hand is like. He's had a banged up hand, throwing hand. And that contributes a little bit to what you were talking about with some of his stats. So I want to see him try to beat you with that banged up hand, as opposed to say, let's be afraid of the passing game and don't give him that cushion to feather the ball in there with. Make him have to whip it. Make him have to throw that thing and get it into a tight spot, which means you have to stop the run, or at least you have to try to keep Eckler somewhat in check. And we'll see if they can do that. That, to me, is the key early in this game to watch for and see if the Eagles try to dictate that.
Scott Grayson with us on the Maserati, the main line hotline. How was that, Billy? Did I do all right?
It was perfect.
Yes, and he joins us every Sunday here on the Locker Room to preview the Eagles game. And Scott, yes, you're talking about Justin Herbert's hand. They also have some banged up issues in the secondary too. Plus, it's been well documented. I feel like you know what I'm about to say. They are the worst team in the league at stopping the run, right? Yep. So how much of that secondary banged up for the Chargers is be able to be exploited too?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think the way to get to it, though, is the running game. I think it's very easy for Nick Sirianni to sit back and say, hey, look at that secondary. I want to throw on those guys. And I know my boss, Jeffrey Lurie, wants me to throw on those guys. But I think you got to set it up. And I think the way to do that is to let the run game break this defense down early and then be able to go deep on those guys and try to throw over the middle. Look, guys, quite frankly, this is a Devontae Smith game. I need to see him do what Devontae Smith is expected to do on lesser talent out there at the defensive back position. Let's see that happen. Let's see Dallas Goedert 20, 25 yards downfield get open and do what he does over there. But I think the run game can really set that up. You can sink those guys in on a play action pass and then hit them over the top. So set it up with that and then have a field day with the passing game. That's fine. I don't need to see them run it nearly as many times as they did last week, but at least have a commitment to it. Go to it. Let your offensive line dominate that line of scrimmage. Wear down this defense so in the second half, they're gassed. And you're in your home stadium. You got the crowd pumped up. It can be a hostile place to play. We all know that.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make. Now, I just came across this morning that apparently Fletcher Cox was real close to going to Pittsburgh. That the Steelers were trying to acquire him and make a trade because they've had some trouble with Stephon Tuitt. So how would the Eagles D-line have looked differently if he went out? And how relieved you like, what does a player think in your mind when stuff like that comes out? I mean, I think I'd be a hard time blocking Fletcher Cox today. Is he's like, oh, you think I'm not worthy?
No, I think in that case, I think it worked out all right. I don't think there's any hard feelings. I think Fletch knows that, his time here may be running down. He's starting to obviously he's getting older. He's not as productive as he has been, but that being said, he's still very productive. He certainly draws the attention of other teams. The thing is, as Javon Hargrave continues to start getting a little more attention, now you want to see Fletcher Cox kick it into another gear. And look, quite frankly, I think he's going to take it the right way. I think he knows he's a guy in the locker room. He's a locker room presence. He still is here. He doesn't go anywhere. It may have been close, but he's still here. And he's got a job to do. And quite frankly, he could be playing for that next contract somewhere else. And in that case, you want to go out there and you want to show what you can do. And as I said, as Hargrave continues to play well and draw some of that double team that used to go to Cox, now it's Cox's turn to really try to get through and light up. And quite frankly, he's a guy who I think could have a really good game today. If he can get through there, if the Eagles do run some more of those stunts, bring a little bit of extra pressure, he's a guy I could see getting through there and possibly getting a sack or two today. So, it's interesting you mentioned him, Pete. I think there's no hard feelings there. I don't think he's, looking at it in any way other than, there's interest out there for him, which is a positive if he looks to go elsewhere after this season
right.
or in the future.
Well, just to put a cherry on top of that, out of the notes, Javon Hargrave looking to become the first Eagles defensive tackle to record a sack in 5 of the first 9 games since Darwin Walker did it in 2002, and he'd be the 5th Eagles defensive tackle to have 7+ sacks through 9 games. These names are great. First of all, I don't remember Rhett Hall, 7.5 and 97, but I do remember Andy Harmon. I mean, he definitely benefited from the line that he played on, 8.5 and 95. I certainly remember Jerome Brown, 7 sacks in 1989. And Reggie White, how we miss you, sir, 7 sacks in 86. I mean, Hargrave's really getting it done.
He is. And you see just how much he must have been banged up last year, right? I mean, we were all a little critical. Where is Javon Hargrave? Why isn't he playing the way that you expected him to play? Well, clearly he was dealing with some things, and this year is certainly a different season for him. And great company, great names you mentioned, Pete, for him to be with in that list. And like I said, he's going to get a lot of attention now from future opponents, including today.
Well, Scotty, these games are won up front in the trenches. We had John Bunning on the show, former Eagle linebacker. He said these games are won up front. That's something that will never change. You got to have the horses up front. And the Eagles, I guess, the third lowest league percentage in blitzing. Maybe they should dial up some blitzes. But for today, what's the recipe for a victory today in your mind, Scott?
Well, the biggest thing I think you need to do is this is a tough game for the Chargers. They had to come across country, and yes, it's a 4:00 game, so they are going to get the chance to to not have to play a 1:00 kick on the East Coast. But look, Justin Herbert's still a young quarterback. We talked about that banged up hand. This crowd today could really do some things to frustrate him. I think the key for me is the Eagles have to start quickly. They've done that well offensively at times this season. That first drive or one of their first couple drives they score on. That's been a plus. I think you need to keep this crowd energized. I think the defense needs to be aggressive. If I'm anywhere near Jonathan Gannon, I'm telling him, keep the foot on the gas pedal. Look how your team played last week. They built some confidence, and let Darius Slay on Mike Williams try to shut him down. I mean, let him earn his money. And so that's what I'm looking for. And if they can get in there and they can make things difficult for the Chargers early, this crowd gets going. It's an afternoon game. They've got extra time to hit the tailgates and get a little bit juiced up. I mean, it can be a fun time down there. And I think, and we talked about the injuries in the secondary. I mix up the run and pass, set up the pass. I think this game is there for the Eagles to get. And to me, if they get this game, this is a measuring stick kind of game, one of their toughest remaining the rest of the season. Look, you could really start building some things here.
Give us your pick for today, Grace. I mean, they're 1-point dog.
Yeah, which quite frankly, I think there's more question marks with the Chargers than there are with the Eagles. And I know they're a point dog, and I know that's because the Eagles really haven't played well in the first half of the year up until last week, and they've had a good game here and there. But I think at home today, I think you talked about the different factors we've displayed. Eckler, to me, is the one question mark that I wonder if the Eagles can somewhat contain. But if they can, I think the Eagles win today. I do. I think it's 27-20 Philly. I just like the crowd behind them. I think the coaching staff cannot be so naive that they didn't learn anything off of the two game plans they ran offensively and defensively last week. So give me 27-20 Eagles today.
And listen, you got it right last week. One of only two people that picked the Eagles. So you know what you're talking about, Scott.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I'll take it.
All right, there he is. Genius. Scott Grayson. Check him out on Monday's Sports Bash with Mike Gill for Grayson's Grades. Follow him on Twitter at SGraysonFox29. See him tonight on Sports Sunday. Scotty, thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
There he is, Scott Grayson on the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline. How about that? Grayson called it too. He got it right last week.
He nailed it. And you know what? I'm not going to say what my pick is yet.
Not yet.
I'm just going to tell you that my pick and his pick are like cousins. I mean, they're darn near exactly the same. Right. And we both think the Eagles are going to win.
The first hour of the locker was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers of real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the Mainline, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan, which Pete likes, or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the Mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like-new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the Mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the Mainline today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. Now, when we return, a good buddy of ours is on his way up to the Eagles game in a bus, in a limo bus.
Oh, my gosh.
And we're going to talk to him next.
It's
the one and only Mark Grimes. Right after the break, you're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, Pete, we're back here in the locker room. You know, one of my most valued sponsors is on the line. We're going to bring him up in a few seconds. But, you know, the guy's at every single sporting event. High school, college, pro. Well, he doesn't miss anything.
You work really hard to be able to play really hard. You got to work hard to play hard to work hard, something like that.
He's my agent at the beach. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room, Mark Grimes. What's up, Grimesy?
What's up, Schweimy?
Dude, I'm telling you, I was talking to, we had Mike Carlin on here yesterday. I said, Grimesy's at every single event he goes to, he sees you at every event.
Yeah, listen, man, just like Pete said, work hard, play hard. That's my motto.
Now, listen, Grimesy, have you gone to the first 3 games at the link?
I have.
All right, so you're 0 for 3 as well as I am. I'm staying away. We're sending Pete up for this game.
Well, there's always a black cloud that follows you, because look what happened on the golf course against Pete last week.
Oh, hey, by the way, how did you hit?
How did I hit him? I hit him all right. Actually, you asked Brad Quast. I think I hit him pretty good that day.
Oh, Brad hit it, but it wasn't the golf ball.
That's true, Brad. Hey, I have all new respect for football players. Brad was telling me some NFL stories, and it's just amazing, man, what these guys go through.
He's going to be joining me next Saturday in the locker room, but he's the stories that he was telling, Grimes. You must have had a great day ride with him.
Oh, great day. This guy mid course, we were body checking each other. We just got that crazy. The guy's nuts.
Now, Grimesy, tell us where you are. You're on your way up.
Knock me out of the cart.
Grimesy, what are you on your way up to the Eagles game now?
Yeah. We got a little limo bus coming. We got about 15 guys. Want to give a little shout out to Denny Durio. He got his 150 wings for a tailgate we're headed to, and some good friends and some good cheer. And actually, talk about a cheer. I think these guys want to give a little cheer here. What do we got, boys? What do we got?
Yeah, boy.
I just typed in the thing on the phone, Mark Grimes, Berkshire Hathaway, right? And I should have put Mark Grimes and friends. Mark Grimes et al.
Grimesy, how many guys are in there? How many guys are in there?
We got 15 guys. 15 guys.
Holy cow! Is this
we're headed to a mean tailgate at lot M1. Anybody wants to join us?
Ooh, so this is not a jitney. This is legit, straight up. This is you're riding in style.
This is not a jitney, because Frank and Wardy want to get a jitney, and we up the ante.
And then Frank's like, I can't believe I got to pay more money to be a part of this.
Hey, by the way, here's my prediction. You ready?
All right, I'm writing it down.
Yep, we got it.
Now listen, I predicted all these games. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here's the deal. We're going to beat the Surfer Boys today. They're going down like Detroit. Score 34-10. Herbert's going down.
Wow.
He's got him crushing it. How many times are the Eagles going to run the ball, Grimesy? Mark.
That was it.
I think we got. There he is. Mark.
Yes.
Grimesy, how many times are the Eagles going to run the ball? Are they going to run the ball effectively today?
Yes, I think they run the ball. I love this guy, Scott. He's Darren Sproles. He's a miniature Darren Sproles.
I'll tell you what, man. Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, he just picked the Eagles 27-20. So you're in good company, Grimesy.
Wow. Oh, I love it.
All right, listen, Grimesy, you enjoy the game today.
On the air. Thank you.
You enjoy the game today.
Yes,
and,
everybody have fun. I'll look for some of you up there. Grimesy, 135. I'm in 135. Enjoy M1. Don't enjoy it so much that you don't remember seeing me. But I look for. I'll be in my Harold Carmichael jersey in case you're trying to pick me out of the crowd. Okay.
I love it.
Right, there he is.
Birthday. Everybody be safe. We'll see you up there, Pete. I'll stop by.
All right, sounds
there
good. Take care.
Mark Grimes, my agent at the beach.
Take care, Grimes.
On his way up to the Eagles game with a bunch of guys. Did you hear how loud that is? They're going crazy.
Well, you got to give them props because, look, it's Radio 101. The number one thing you do is you tell the caller, like, now turn your radio down because there's a delay, right? So, but it's Grimesy. We're not going to tell them to turn the radio down because they're imbibing. They're having a good time.
One of my most valued advertisers.
So I actually applaud his effort. He gave a very comprehensive, very detailed report of his day so far, right? And he was able to fight through the delay. Look, there's people that have been on TV. Yeah. I guarantee you couldn't do it.
It's tough.
It's tough when you're,
especially if you have feedback in your headphones.
Well,
trying to talk.
Feedback. He's got 30 people that are feeding back. You know, he's got.
Hey, I wonder if they stopped at Blitz's Market and got their sandwich, their hoagies.
They should have. $5, can't beat it.
Remember,
especially Frank. Remember, Frank was the guy that didn't want to take the jitneys, or he wanted to. No, I have that wrong. Frank wanted the jitney. They're like, no, we're going a little higher than that. We're not.
You're not going to see Grimes in a jitney.
Ain't no stinking jitney.
The locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season. On game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. That's Blitz's. It's home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. And, you know, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good buddy Ron Conklin at 856-988.
What's his name again?
I was going to say Michael Pileggi. They're both my good friends.
I'm sure they are.
That's 856-988-8900. And you know who's another good friend? That Ken Dunnick.
Oh, yeah, good
because
guy.
Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events that seems a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. And they had their gala on Thursday night.
Yeah, I saw some
Did
pictures
you see that
of that on social media. Where were they again? Where did they hold it? Was it at,
I think it was at the Ben or something.
Ooh,
it was over there, Ritzy Ditzy.
Oh, that's pretty fancy.
That's Ken Dunnick. He's first class.
Yeah, all the way.
All right.
Absolutely.
When we return, we'll wrap up the first hour of the locker room and get you ready for hour two. You're listening to The Locker Room with Pete Thompson, Billy Schweim, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Whoops.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, Eagles game day, Eagles Chargers.
Why is it so quiet?
Hey, Pete.
And the worst part is I even said to you, 30 seconds, we're on with this. And then I'm like, oh, gee, why is it quiet?
All right, Pete, I want to talk to you about the Devontae Smith, the receiver, the rookie.
Okay.
Former Heisman Trophy winner, right?
All right.
With 33 catches this year for 421 yards and 1 touchdown through 8 games. Have they been using him enough?
I mean, he's coming into his own. There's just certain times like where the opposing team is going to mark your best receiver with their best corner, and maybe he's not gotten the opportunities. I think today would be an opportunity. The fact that, a couple of the Chargers corners are out, right? So that's a good chance.
I'd like to see a big game out of him today, and I'll tell you why. I mean, the guy's he looks like he's a great route runner, number one.
Okay.
But he's got with his 421 yards, he already ranks 12th among Eagle rookie receivers.
Look,
so
the biggest thing,
he's on pace to get like almost 800, 900 yards this year.
The biggest thing, and I picked up on this when Grimesy said it, or was it maybe Scott Grayson, is that if they do knock out Justin Herbert, you know who comes into the game?
Who?
Do you know who the Chargers' backup quarterback is?
I do not.
Guy named Chase Daniel. Remember that name?
Yes, all 5'11" of them.
Right. So, I mean, boy, you don't think they'd be licking their chops like one pop on a hand, Herbert's out, then Chase Daniel's got to be in. I mean, ooh, that would be a recipe for huge success, I think. And remember, Grayson told us watch out for Eckler. That's the one guy that he's worried about.
I know that Jalen Hurts only 14 attempts last week.
Right.
All right. And I can't believe how lopsided that was. I mean, I'm not complaining because a guy I like to run the ball, but it was 14 attempts to 46 rushing attempts.
I mean, why get away from?
I get that, but I think you need to have more of a balance.
Look, if it's working, do it and do it again until they stop it. I understand your desire for balance, like when you write up the game.
I want to see a big game out of Devontae Smith today.
Okay, and I think they are going to get a big game out of Devontae Smith. In fact, we're not the only ones that think this. Gil thinks they're going to get a big game out of Devontae Smith.
Is
when
that right?
Texted him to ask him again.
Brilliant minds think alike.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
You and Gil in the same camp. He actually has the Eagles winning this game 30-23.
Let me write that down.
Okay. Gil has the Eagles winning 30-23.
Okay.
And he went a step further and gave the game balls out. And his game ball on the offense is to Devontae Smith. Says long touchdown by Devontae. Then on the defense, he thinks Milton Williams is going to be the defensive player that's going to come through. So, and
I just don't think we've seen enough of Devontae Smith. I think he's been underused, under-targeted.
Now I got a question.
I wonder if is that by design, Pete?
Wait,
or is that Jalen Hurts missing him?
I got another question for you.
Okay.
Do you know who Milton Williams is?
Yeah, he's a lineman.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, come on, Pete, really?
93. It was just
come
a
on,
question.
really, Pete?
It was just a question.
I'm going to pull your tickets from you.
I knew that you would have answered honestly if you didn't know who he was.
That's right, but I mean,
all right. So your question is, do I think that Devontae Smith is falling off because Hurts is missing him? I think that the game plan last week, it's just a one. We're a very reactionary sports talk radio show, right?
Absolutely.
And so obviously you're like, oh boy, Devontae Smith didn't have a big game. Well, nobody in the receiving had a big game last week, and that's fine because.
And listen, he should have working. 2 more touchdown catches than he does because remember he ran out of bounds twice.
Do you realize that's the most lopsided win the Eagles had in 8 years? Yes. It's the most points they scored since 2017. It's the most rushing touchdowns in 8 years. They had a season high for points, for rush yards, for rush TDs, for sacks. I mean, you put all this in the stew, and it was a great win. And it's the third time in the last 30 years that the Eagles had 3 players with 50-plus rushing yards. And I think if you just went to the running backs, you had to go back to like 1981 with like Leroy Harris and Wilbert Montgomery.
All right. Speaking of reactionary, we've already had 3 picks today, and yours is coming up, and you said that you're almost identical to that.
I'm almost identical to Grayson.
Ready?
I'll give you one more.
Hold on. I'm not done yet. I'm not done with you yet.
Okay.
Mike Carlin was in here yet.
Colonial Mike. What did he say?
He said the Chargers 41-27.
What? Mike Carlin, I don't like him anymore.
But after that, Josh Henning 50 or excuse me,
Wait a
30,
minute, wait.
30 to 24.
Give me the Mike Carlin again.
41-27 Chargers.
41-27. All right.
But talk about reactionary. Now, all the guys in the know.
New boxes here. Why didn't you tell me we had so many predictions?
Josh, Eagles. He picked the Eagles 30-24.
Okay.
Grayson's got the Eagles 27-20.
Mm-hmm.
Grimes has the Eagles 34-10. And Gil has the Eagles 30-23. Talk about reactionary. You get one win, and look at all these fans, all these guys picking the Eagles.
Well, it's not just the win. It's also what Grayson talked about, which is that the Chargers are coming in a banged-up team, that Justin Herbert's got some issues with his hand.
So
their secondary is terrible right now. They've got some injuries in their secondary.
By the way,
won. Jeff Kerr,
right,
from CBS, the Gil has on each week, picked the Chargers 27-24. Right. So there's a Chargers pick.
So there's a Chargers pick. Now listen.
Right.
You have the Chargers are the Eagles are 1 point underdog, right?
Yes.
They're coming in banged up.
Yes.
If they don't win, if the Eagles don't win this game, was last week's win hollow?
Yes.
Very hollow, right? Very hollow.
You're only as good as what have you done?
So with that being said,
what have you done for me lately?
Wait, Pete. So with that being said, is today a must win?
Sure,
it's
absolutely.
a must win today.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely need to win.
Can you give me the Eagles fight song?
Oh yeah, I'll give it to you.
Come on, Pete. I need something from you today.
Well,
you're not jacked up. You're going to the game. Grimes is all fired up. I want something from you. I need a song.
There's a song for you. You know what that one means, don't you? It means that you'll get the darn Eagles fight song on the other side of the break.
That means I got 40 seconds left in this block.
That is correct. You'll get that song on the other side of the break.
And you know what, Pete?
You think I just snap my fingers and this stuff comes out?
I need a little bit more Eagle green out of you today, too.
My boxers are green, but I'm not taking my pants off.
All right, hour 1 in the books. Hour 2, we got the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Hartley's going to the game, too.
Great. Maybe he'll meet up with me as well.
All right, fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. Pete Thompson. He's getting ready for the Eagles. He's going to go up to the Eagles game today. He's in his 3-point stance. It's the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. It's Eagles Sunday.
Ooh, I hope I do this a lot today.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Welcome back into the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on 97.3 ESPN. Getting you ready for Eagles football. Eagles Chargers at 4:05. Of course, the official Eagles pregame starts at 3 o'clock. And then you get Mike and Merle with the call right here on 97.3 ESPN. Now, Pete, not only are you going to the game, but Mike Carlin is on the way up to the game. He wants to I think he's going up with Harry Vanderslice.
Oh, okay. Very good. I know who Harry Vanderslice is. Great family, the Vanderslices. Listen, this is what I know. You got to tell Colonial Mike Carlin that he's got to unblock the ability to get group text messages. I tried 3 times during the break there to include him in a text with him, Grimes, my buddy Scott, and who was the 4th? Me, right? So so I was trying to text the game day lineup, Now, I don't know if you've ever seen these things, you knucklehead. Can you see that in the StreamYard?
Yes, I can see that.
Right. Do you get these from the Eagles?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so,
I haven't opened it up yet.
But I mean, it's stuff like 1 o'clock, the Pepsi Plaza and the Fox Bet gates open, 2 o'clock, the clubs and the suites, 2:30, the inner stadium. Now, here's the one. And this happens all the time to me. Every time that ever since the link opened. Yeah, you got it.
I got it.
But mine looks better. Ever since the link opened, when those flares go off, I'm always like, the hell is that? and usually, you're having a Shasta or a Fresca. Now, so
how about a Fresca?
How about a pop? 3:20 is when the flares go off and they say start heading into the game. Well, my father is 83. Somewhere I just heard him go, Peter, don't tell people how old I am. But he 3:20 is not enough time for him. So by like 2:55, he's gonna be like, hey, you want to start heading in? Hey, you want to get going? So yeah.
And not only that, who else is going to the game? You just got a phone call from one Mike Gill.
That is correct. Now he is not going to the game.
He's not going.
His lovely missus and her son are going to the game. So hopefully maybe we'll see Hyde Bay up there.
Now, 4 o'clock game, though, remember, we just went back to standard time. We lost our daylight savings time, so it will be dark right after the second or during the start.
It's a weird game to dress for. Again, I hate to keep bringing my father in, but, he's worthy here. The guy's been a season ticket holder since 1973, Billy. You think he doesn't know how this stuff works? So his key has always been layers, dress in layers, right? So I will, I'm not a big long sleeve guy, but for this game, I will have long sleeves. I'm not a big long underwear guy, but for this game, I'll put some long johns on.
I'll put the long underwear on when it's really cold.
Well, but I might put it on underneath because these pants are so thin, to PT, I'm not a jean guy anymore. I haven't worn jeans since Clinton's first term.
And I get ripped for wearing my Levi that my wife calls it dad jeans.
Yeah, well, you probably wouldn't get ripped.
And Mike Gill, of course, gives me a hard time for my white sneakers. My New Balance.
The Grillmaster 3000s are really poor. But if you at least went dark jeans, dude, like step up off the Levi's and the Wranglers and actually go for like some fashionable looking jeans.
Get off my lawn, Pete.
Gran Torino. Good movie. So no, I'm excited. Listen, I may not be like screaming into the microphone like you, but I'm really pleased to be attending this game today.
It's not screaming. It's called energy. It's called passion.
Dude, you're screaming.
I get excited.
I
know. I don't like McKay. He doesn't get worked up for anything.
That's true. Sometimes you wonder, he's like Spock. You wonder if he has a pulse. Like if you cut him, he'd have Vulcan blood coming out. Let's see here on the text message board. Hopefully Lurie will keep his 2 cents out of things and we run the ball down their throats. Let our big O-line dominate early and then set up the pass. I got a good feeling today, guys. And that's Joey D. And hey, PT, remember, it's a 4 o'clock kickoff, so don't get a ticket on the AC Expressway. Joe, you know me so well. Yes.
By the way, 609-403-0973 is the text board number. If you want to shoot us a text with your prediction, love to hear them. 609-403-0973. I'm not going to obviously we're going to hold off on our predictions until the very end, but I think the Eagles this is a must-win game for them. And I think these John Bunning, we had John Bunning on here yesterday.
Okay.
And John Bunning said these games are one up front. Now, last week, Derek Barnett, Josh Sweat, Williams, Fletcher Cox, they had a good game last week.
Yeah, everybody was able
They also
to
dialed up some blitzes. Cannon dialed up some blitzes.
A couple of them, just enough. I mean, here's the thing. Like, they're winning right now with that front four when they get home. They're winning, because like you talked about, they had 6+ sacks and 3+ forced fumbles for the first time since 2016 against Minnesota. Okay. And 5 Eagles had a sack. That was the first time that's happened since 2010, all the way back 2010. September 26th of 2010, they played in Jacksonville.
And I mentioned this earlier. The Eagles they've only blitzed 14.3% of the plays.
Well,
they need to step it up. Listen, this is a copycat league. All you got to do is look at the film and see how the Ravens and the Patriots beat the Chargers and learn from it. Look at the film.
I think that the days of Jim Johnson are over, right? We remember the fearsome foursome and Buddy Ryan.
Herbert's a young quarterback, man.
I get it, and he's got a banged-up hand. So hopefully they get home with their base 4 defense instead of having to disguise. But they'll call a couple here and there, but. Look, what we're skirting around here, and we're not really discussing, Mr. Schweim, is have you gained any more faith in Jonathan Gannon, or do you still think he's inept as a defensive coordinator as he was a couple weeks ago when we were killing the guy?
Well, like the flower that grows out of the ground.
Oh, God. Oh, don't do that now. Oh, my gosh, don't do that.
You got to water the flower. Right, you gotta put some fertilizer on it.
I'm gonna drive you down Route 9 to McNaughton's Garden Center and throw some peat moss on you.
And maybe is he learning? He's got to be able to make adjustments during game day. There's some coaches that separates the good coaches from the great coaches, right? Or the not so great coaches.
It does. Look,
you got to make game in-game adjustments.
Yes,
Pete.
yes, and I think that's something that. It's hard to preach patience in the NFL, but that's something that the Eagles fans are having to learn because these guys are literally learning on the job. I saw some stuff too today about Nick Sirianni's facing his old team. He doesn't give a rat's patootie about that. I don't see that as a storyline at all. Do you?
You know what the biggest storyline is? The fact that they got rid of Eric Wilson on Wednesday. And that sends a message to this team.
Yeah.
Like
if
they're
you're
not
not
messing around.
if you're not performing, you're out.
Exactly. Davian Taylor, he had 5 sacks. He had 5 tackles last week.
Yeah.
And this kid has got
he earned
speed.
his way onto the field.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, Fletcher Cox, by the way, did talk a little bit about almost getting dealt. He did step up to the podium on Friday and said, during the whole process, I was in constant communication with Howie, Nick, and my agent. There were some teams interested in me, but the most important part is they wanted me here. I want to be here. I'm happy to be here. Looking forward to going out and playing in the Link on Sunday. You can't do nothing but respect the organization for doing that. I haven't been anywhere else. And most places, from what I hear, don't include the player in that choice. So I think Howie and Nick did a really good job of communicating with Todd and me at the end of the day.
What you're pointing out is the fact that Howie Roseman seems like he did it the right way.
Yeah.
Was upfront and honest and didn't try to
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
because I think that's one thing.
That's the first time I've ever heard a current Eagle player or any Eagle player speak positively about being in trade talks.
But I think I don't know how much was made of the Eric Wilson. They moved him. I don't know how much was made of it on the Sports Bash, or if you talked about it with Mike during the week when you have your spots. But I think that was a necessary move. He was playing horrible. We've been very critical about the linebackers and specifically Singleton. But they're not going to get rid of him because he's not making as much as Wilson. They both have been god awful, but it sends a message.
It was a Howie miss. You know what I mean? You're
right.
not, and unfortunately, Howie has some misses too. You're not going to hit on every single guy that you bring in. And in fact, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. You find me that free agent guy that Howie's brought in that's really contributing. Can you find me one? Because
Steven Nelson.
Okay, I mean Ryan Kerrigan.
No, I would say Ryan. Although they've been singing Ryan Kerrigan's praises in the, Gannon has. He said he's been doing his job. I don't see. He's not producing. He's not getting any statistics that would suggest that he's playing well. But apparently, according to the coaches, he is.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about the linebacker position, Singleton earlier, Jannard Avery, TJ Edwards, Singleton, right? And then behind him, Johnson, Sean Bradley. Davion Taylor is like the one guy that you're like, right? But everybody else on there, they're they're serviceable linebackers. They're not stud.
Well, they only put 4.4% of the cap to linebackers.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
that's all the salary that they allocated for linebackers.
Yep.
You get what you paid for.
That's exactly right. You get what you pay for. I would agree with that comment.
All right. You know, the locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal. Get down to Blitz's during the Eagles season on game day. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Blitz's is at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com. Or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. And we had fun last week there, Pete.
Had such a good time. Can't thank those guys enough.
I want to say thank you so much to Radio Ron Ralston, who rolled out the red carpet for the locker room. We really appreciate it. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season that appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston. My winter watchdog. You've heard of this company, Pete?
Yeah, I've heard of them. I turned my mic off while you're doing these reads, but yeah, I've heard of them.
Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming, the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on your house, hours of time on the road? Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie a text at debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, it's the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN. All right, Pete, we're back here in the locker room. Of course, we're streaming live on Twitter and YouTube. And I have if you want to look at the stream, I got my Go Birds shirt on. So
Go Birds.
I'm ready to go.
Let's go Eagles.
So, Pete, in my fantasy league, I'm in 3 leagues. I'm 5-3 in one league, 3-5 in the other, and 2-6 in the other.
You need help.
Yeah, I know.
What's my record again? I'm sorry. What's my record?
7-1.
Heck yes, it is.
So I need to
You know why? Because I listen to what Hartley tells me to do.
I need to.
And I start lineups that actually have people active.
So I need my fantasy football fix. So let's go to the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline and welcome in the fantasy football guru, brought to you by Stell Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of the roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stell Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stell Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. Let's welcome in my fantasy football guru and yours, Brian Hartley. What's up, Guru?
Good morning, guys. I am at Cary Stadium here for the game of the week. It's the Ocean City Red Raiders kindergarten and first graders going in the season finale today. The over-under on Flowers picked is set at 42 today.
That's so funny. Hey, Ocean City does it right, Hartley. I mean, they had a triple header of playoff games the other day, and Jeff Haynes, the AD out there, shout out to him. And all the folks at Ocean City. I mean, and they won all 3 games. So I hope the kindergartners beat the first graders, or however that's going.
So, Peter,
it's been an interesting day. My son's out there, one dancing in his game, and the other one I just saw go from a 3-point stance, leap into the arms of the defender and tackle him. So it's been quite an interesting day.
Now, Guru, I almost pulled a Pete Thompson last week or on Thursday. I just happened to look at my lineups and realized I had like 6 people out on buys and a few injuries. So at the last minute, I got to get some people straightened out for the Thursday night game, and I'm losing.
Yeah, what a week. This is same thing, man. A lot of buys and a lot of injuries popping up this week, and obviously the Aaron Rodgers situation. So it's going to be an interesting week.
This is when you get that. Like, last year, I had, obviously Christian McCaffrey. He was out last year. He's out again this year. There's been a lot of injuries. I mean, Jerry Judy's back.
He might be back today, though.
Yeah, he might be back, but I'm not plugging him in.
Not the same, but he might be back.
I'm not plugging him in.
Yeah, Jerry Judy came back last week, but obviously that was one of those ones that you wanted to wait and see, give him a week to kind of find his footing. But he's got a decent matchup today, and I think Denver could put up some points against Dallas.
And I did something that I said I would never do.
I
needed a defense. I needed defense, and when I looked on the available defenses,
you took the Eagles.
No, I had to take the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, it's tough when you do that. I mean,
you're
a fan first, but yeah.
Yeah, today could be interesting for Dallas's defense as well. You have Terry Bridgewater, who is quarterback, who's kind of been banged up, not playing all that great, and Drew Lock goes out all of a sudden with COVID. So, if something happens to Bridgewater, that game could get really ugly really quick.
And I knew who they were playing, and like you just mentioned, the fact that Bridgewater's banged up. So I figured, all right, I'll go against my better judgment and my principles, Pete, and Guru, and I had to go with the Cowboys. It pains me to do this, but I had to do it.
Yeah, I hear you. It's one of those things when I look at the first round, looking at Ezekiel Elliott, and you're like, do I draft him? Do I not draft him? Oh,
right.
God, I can't stand having those guys. But, hey, man, they're putting up points this year. I got CeeDee Lamb in one league, and he's been an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. No, I'll tell you what, too, now that we're thinking about this, I have Jared Cook because I had Noah Fant as my tight end, and he's questionable or maybe out for Denver, so I had to find a tight end, and I'm like, oh, there's a name I recognize. Now I'm going to be sitting right there. I mean, I do not want to see that guy catch a touchdown on Lincoln Financial Field today, but at the same time, I got to have a body in there.
I had to compromise.
It's very possible today for Jared Cook to have a nice little game.
I had to compromise my principles today, Guru.
All right, Billy, I'm going to hit the music.
All right, Guru, it's week 9. Give us your picks for week 9 in the NFL.
This week, I like Jalen Hurts getting some garbage yards and some points going against the LA Chargers. I like Derek Carr against the New York Giants and Matthew Stafford, who's been an absolute stud down against Tennessee.
At running back, I look for Myles Gaskin to get back on track today against that terrible Houston defense. Darrell Williams going against Green Bay. Even though Gore stole some carries last week, I still like Williams. It's a great matchup for him today. I like Zach Moss coming back, going against Jacksonville today. I think they're going to get ahead, and they're going to look to run the ball more. Damian Harris been an absolute stud this year going against Carolina. And James Robinson banged up. He's a game-time decision, but trending a little more towards unlikely to play. So if you're looking for a little sleeper, a guy that might get some action, keep an eye on that in the next hour and a half. But you could look at Carlos Hyde today, catching the ball out of the backfield, and could get you some good PPR points there. Wide receiver, like Brandon Cooks going against Miami. I'm taking Devonta Smith today against the LA Chargers. And Cortland Sutton against Dallas. They're going to have to throw the ball to keep up. And I like T. Higgins going against the Cleveland Browns. So those are my picks for Week 9 of the NFL season.
And we were talking about Devonta Smith, 33 catches for like 400-some yards. Guru, do you think that they've been underusing him? Have they gotten him the ball enough? Or is it by design, or is just Jalen Hurts not getting him the ball?
I'm not sure what the design of this offense is anymore, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure that you can say really by design. I mean, I think they try, to necessarily get on the ball, but obviously last week they ran the ball more and, they looked a hell of a lot more explosive than they have in the past. So, they played Detroit, but they do need to get him the ball. He is a big playmaker. The problem really has been Hurts. He's been inaccurate at times, and, a lot of times he's looking to run with the ball more than throwing it. So, they got to get on track here, but this is a game that it is winnable. The Chargers have been playing great, and they got a lot of offensive talent, so they're going to have to shut them down. But they're home, and it's a game that they could steal and really get back on track and use that to build some momentum going forward.
All right, Guru, out of the 6 people that have already given us the predictions, only one of them has taken the Chargers. What say you?
I say Chargers 31-20.
Chargers 31-20. Now I thought you were going to this game, but
hang on, boo.
Yeah, give the boo. But 31-20. I guess obviously they don't contain Keenan Allen, Eckler, or Justin Herbert.
Maybe Jared Cook. Maybe he's got a Jared Cook touchdown in there.
Yeah, don't want to see that. But 31-20, Guru. I don't like that at all.
Well, you don't have to like it, Billy. Listen, last week I took Detroit, and I got proven wrong in a big way. But I thought Detroit, the way they had been playing, we're going to look to make a statement and finally get off the schneid there. But that didn't happen. But, the Eagles are still shaky. The Chargers haven't been playing all that great either. But I look for the Chargers to rebound today and take one out of Philly.
All right, go Pete.
Hey, Hartley, are we only recognizing this by 2 because it's got Tampa in it and there's so many talented people on Tampa? I mean, like Detroit, although I have DeAndre Swift, Seattle, Tampa, and Washington, those are your buys. Detroit, Seattle, Tampa, and Washington. So that's why everybody's scrambling, right?
Well, the issue is with Seattle, you have the bye, but you also have the injuries. You got Russell Wilson, who's been out, Chris Carson's been out, Antonio Gibson's been a good player this year. So, really you're missing him and McLaren going for Washington. But yeah, the Tampa guys, obviously, you got the whole crew there, the running backs, Fournette, you got Gronkowski, Brown, Evans, Godwin, Brady, those are all starters in guys' teams, but you have a lot of injuries this week. You got Winston that goes down. You got Aaron Rodgers that's out. You got guys that are questionable, like James Robinson today. Devontae Parker goes down midweek. So these are all guys that, people are looking to replace. And, the waiver wire this time of year gets a little tricky.
I did see somebody pick up Julio Jones and drop Devontae Parker in one league that I was in. All right, Hartley, man, good stuff out of you as always.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. We're going to go back to watching the flowers being picked here.
All right, there he is. Thanks, Guru. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
Have a great day.
All right,
the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Stell Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stell Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stell Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey, or give them a call at 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. I want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's over the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member at this great country club, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always, always a great day at Great Bay. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati of the Main Line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati of the Main Line also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati of the Main Line offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati of the Main Line at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. And, of course, the fantasy football guru was on the Maserati of the Main Line Sports Hotline, and we'll have them answer the phones for us all the rest of the football season. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN, and the mobile app. We're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, Eagles game day, Eagles Chargers at 4:05. The official Eagles pregame show starts here on 97.3 ESPN at 3 o'clock.
Which is funny that you're bringing that up because force of habit, Dumb Thompson over here on this side of the board is like, oh, yeah, let me look what the Eagles inactives are. It's 11:30. Let me see what the inactives are. And then I'm thinking, like, this isn't the inactive. This is from like 4 years ago. Like, what are these things? And then I was like, oh, right, 4:05. Stupid.
All right, Pete, what I want to address.
Hang on to answer your other question that you so rudely asked.
Wait. I want to hold
20 seconds to go.
Hold off on that.
Oh, okay.
Hold off on that.
All right, then I
want to set it up first.
Oh,
all right.
There's a setup.
Let me put it right on your tape. All right, right, tape to tape.
Fine.
All right. Eagles Chargers today. We got a lot of people predicting the Eagles Eagles victory today. Only two people did.
4, 5, 6, 7.
You have the Chargers today. If the Eagles can win this game,
I have 9 predictions in front of me minus yours. Okay. Out of the 9, 3 of them are picking the Chargers. Brian Hartley, Mike Carlin, and Jeff Kerr. That's correct. 3 Chargers people.
So if you look at the schedule, Pete, they've got the if they can beat the Chargers right now. Now I predicted 8-9 this season. What did you predict? Do you remember the beginning of the season?
Oh, God. I think maybe
7,
6 and 11,
6 and 11,
something like that. You know,
if you
7 and 10.
If you look at the Eagles' schedule, if they can beat the Chargers today, they've got the Broncos in Denver. Teddy Bridgewater is banged up. Who's their backup, Pete?
Oh, now you want to know.
Yes.
Okay. The backup is a guy named Drew Lock. You might have heard of him.
Drew Lock.
Yeah.
That they just traded away Von Miller.
Yeah, the Broncos are sort of in fire sale mode,
right?
Yeah,
so that's a winnable
I
game.
See
correct?
where you're going there. I mean, yeah.
Then you go to the. Then you go to
win in Denver, but yeah.
All right, but then you go to the Saints, who just lost Jameis Winston.
That is correct.
And you're looking at Taysom Hill, who's coming off injury, and a backup by the name of Ian Book.
Yeah.
Well, you seen Nebraska? Did he go to Nebraska? I think.
Did he really? I've never heard of that guy.
Ian Book. But I mean, you look at that game. That's a winnable game. And then you get into the Giants, Jets.
Did you listen to me and Gil on Friday? Did you? Can you see any of this in your screen there? Can you see what I'm holding up on the StreamYard?
Well, it's too.
Right, but that's Gil's chicken scratch here, so I can just reach over and sort of recap what he and I were talking about, which is the fact that where the Eagles are right now.
They're in a good spot.
They're in a good spot, and all the teams that are ahead of them. He asked me to sort of go through and pick who I thought was going to win, like of 3 and 5 teams and 3 and 6 teams, and who was going to be up against each other. And basically, yes, if they win this game, they're definitely in the driver's seat.
They're in a good spot
because they have the easiest schedule left. And you're right. If you want to read off the games that are left, and I'll do that. They're home with the Chargers today. They're at Denver. Okay. New Orleans at home, and it's home. And again, you said all the issues the Saints have. At the Giants, at the Jets, back-to-back weeks, back-to-back drives up to the Meadowlands, right? Then they have their bye week, okay, in week 14. The rest of their schedule is all divisional, and out of that, 3 of the 4 games are at home. Washington football team home on December 19th. Giants home on the day after Christmas. At the Washington football team for January 2nd, and then home with Dallas on January 9th. Yes, they very much
let's water the flowers
where they sit right now. 3 and 5 doesn't look great, but they very much could.
Let's water the flowers.
Yeah, win a bunch of those games.
Let's water the flowers.
7, 8, 9. I'm gonna say they win.
Let's water the flowers.
if they win 6 of those, then they end up what? That's 9, and they're winning 6 of the
last.
Right. That's 9 and 8.
9 and 8. Does that make the playoffs?
Well, it doesn't win the division, but it might make the playoffs as a wild card team. So yeah, no, I'm on board.
Right?
You got me.
I mean, look, I want to hear the fight song from now on out, especially if they win.
Every time?
I picked this team to go 8-9. And I'm not I know there's a lot of people that have been very there you go. There you go.
This one?
Yeah, man, that's the one. I want to hear it. Road to victory.
Fight.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, let's hear it, man.
You're butchering the words. It's fight. You don't even know the words.
Look, there's nothing better than being in the stadium after a touchdown.
It's a 34-second song, and you don't even know the words.
I know the words. I've been singing it since I've been 8.
You just said "Fly Eagles Fly" when they were on the fight part.
Well, I thought it was the first verse.
And not for nothing, you nincompoop.
I know the words like the back of my hand.
Yeah, sure you do.
I do.
This is what I know, okay? I'm so old that I can remember an actual brass band
that was in the corner.
of the vet, down where like home plate would be.
Right, and they had those things in front of them, so you couldn't see their legs. Right, with an eagle.
That's correct. That's where they kept the hooch.
Right.
For some of those bad games, that's where they'd have. They're like, well, we're not playing today, boys. Time to get some trumpet oil.
Did you ever make the Franklin Field?
I've been to Franklin for.
No, I mean for an Eagles game.
No, I was never at Franklin Field for an Eagles game.
I was at Franklin Field.
In fact, like I said, my dad was a season ticket holder starting in '73, so I was 2. But I think my first game was probably I saw at Franklin Field, so probably '79.
Roger Staubach.
Is that right?
The Cowboys a couple times.
I like Roger Staubach. I hate the Cowboys. I like Roger Staubach.
Absolutely.
Great American, great patriot, former Navy guy with Veterans Day coming up. We should talk about that a little bit. Thank you to everybody for their service.
I interviewed Pete Dawkins at the Army-Navy game last year.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very
that's right. You're big Army.
Yeah, big Army-Navy.
So every year around Army-Navy,
my dad's buried at Arlington National Cemetery.
Yeah. My cousin Mike is there too.
28 years.
My cousin Mike was in the Army, actually. So that's interesting. We
go
different allegiances.
Retired colonel.
Wait, I thought you rooted for Army though.
Well, so here's the deal. My father was in the Navy.
Me. So
my father was in the Navy.
You think you'd root for the
Navy?
My
nephew and my brother-in-law both graduated from West Point.
Mm-hmm.
Class of 2000, class of 71.
Nice, impressive.
All right. Mm-hmm. So when Matt went to West Point, I changed my allegiance from Navy to Army.
Typical.
I had to do that.
Typical Schweim.
No, it's not. It's my blood,
dude. Typical.
He goes to West Point.
Is your father not your blood? Wait, that was your answer. It's my blood. Your father.
My father would approve. My father would approve of this. He was very proud of Matthew. Listen, by the way, I stood with the Corps Cadets and jumped the entire game.
You did
up and down.
Well, no wonder you.
They don't let just anybody go.
No wonder you couldn't play golf anymore. You ruined yourself a year ago. No wonder you stink.
So wait, guess who else I saw at the Franklin Field?
Who?
John Brody and the 49ers.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, John Brody was a good player. Listen, here's
Dan Pastorini and the Houston Oilers.
Even though the inactives aren't out, we already know who's out based off of the final Eagles injury report. Like J.J. Arthego-Whiteside is out, okay? But then they're mostly healthy, mean, for anybody that there's nothing new, right? I mean, Miles Sanders has been out, Brandon Graham's been out, Brandon Brooks has been out, and Isaac Seumalo has been out.
By the way, you made
none of that is a surprise. On the other side, Michael Davis and Asante Samuel Jr. Do you remember Asante the dad?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So here's your guys. It's Tavon Campbell, Chris Harris, and Ryan Smith, who are probably going to be the Chargers' top 3 corners today. So hey, you're missing your first of all, they're the worst team in the league against the run.
Right.
Now they're missing 2 of their key corners. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Oh, Nelly. Who would you say that one?
Keith Jackson.
Oh, Keith Jackson. Pete, you also alluded to the fact that the Eagles' bye comes after week 10. Is that correct?
The Eagles' bye does not come
after week 9. Week 10. Week 11?
Just keep guessing.
All right, week 11. My point is, it's a good time.
None of those were right. It's week 14.
Whatever.
The bye comes in.
But my point is, it's late.
Right.
It's late in the season where I think it really benefit the Eagles.
Let me ask you a question. Who wore number 14 for the Phillies?
For this year?
No, in history. Who?
Pete Rose.
Thank you. Now you'll never forget the bye week. See, why
changes every year?
You're a teacher too. Why am I teaching you?
Teach me anything.
The bye week is in week 14.
All right, but
you were
you're getting lost in semantics.
12.
You're getting lost in semantics.
Just give me the answer. Just give me the answer. You were like Chris Farley.
My point is that the bye comes late for this team.
Yes.
And it couldn't be at a better time, I think.
The bye is the bye. I mean,
no, because everybody else, like, that's one of the last teams to have a bye, and it's late in the season.
All right. Well, nobody's injured yet. So, I mean, what are
But
you predicting that
but
there's
these
going to be
guys
some
are
injuries?
but by week 14, they're all banged up anyway, Pete.
Well, trust me, if it's anything like teachers convention, which is what we've had the last couple days here in Southern New Jersey, that you're going to see pictures from these Eagles Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts. You know, I'm in the Dominican Republic. I'm in the Virgin Islands. I'm in Punta Cana. I'm in, hey, look at me,
Get down to Blitz's Markets today, will you? Get your Eagles game day meal, a hoagie. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Blitz is at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz is now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big dill.
Big dill.
All right. Big Bill. Second hour of the locker room.
That's you if you keep eating.
Pete, who's the second hour of the locker room brought to you by?
Second hour of the locker room is brought to you by Great Bay Country Club.
Where it's not just
golf, it's always a great day at Great Bay.
It's not just, how long have you heard me read this?
I'm Anchorman, man. If it's not in front of me, stay classy, Summers Point.
All right. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. But if you're Pete Thompson, it probably only takes you 3 hours and maybe 40 minutes.
No, we were bad,
Tommy,
dude.
By the way, did Tommy Green pick your hat up this time?
Yeah, I gave him crap about that. Yes, he did. I put my hat down to Marcus Ball the other day when we were playing, and I said, "Now, Tommy, I'm putting my hat down." He was like, all right, and Keith Jones from NBC 10 was like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I go, "Oh, that was a joke from the last time that we played golf."
Tommy takes his golf serious.
He very much does. The country music was playing, and what did he shoot? He shot a 78, I believe, and at Union League National, a 78 is like a 65 on a regular course. I mean, he played well.
All right, you can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, Scott Dunn, Ryan Owens, Kevin Kelly's down there, the whole crew.
Get them all. Carol behind the service area there where we were having the beverages. Get them all in.
Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information.
I love our listeners. Book went to Notre Dame. That's all it says.
That's right. I know.
Never let the facts get in the way of a good story. Book went to Notre Dame. I'm like, boy, why is the text message board blowing up?
Nebraska.
Yeah, sure. Like when you said that, I was like, whatever, dude.
I remember.
Notre Dame.
When
Nebraska.
We return,
Jeez.
we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, as we get you ready for Eagles Chargers 4:05. Of course, you can hear the Eagles official pregame show right here on 97.3 ESPN at 3 o'clock, and then Mike and Merle with the call at 4:05. Now, Pete Thompson, I've been, listening and taking in all the information coming in and looking at the injury report, this, that, and the other thing, and I had pretty much convinced myself of a score that I wanted to pick, but after today, I'm
you're making an adjustment?
I think I might change my mind.
Well, Dan from EHT on the text board thinks that Sirianni is going to throw the ball 50 times today. This coaching staff has shown us one thing so far: expect the unexpected. I hope they don't throw.
Well, they ran the ball 46 times last week and only threw the ball 16 times last week. So, that's not too far-fetched for him to do that.
Yeah, I mean, then 2 corners are out that we talked about in the last segment, so maybe that's something that they're licking their chops at.
I'm inclined to agree with Mike Gill about Devontae Smith.
Oh, my God, record that.
Yes, I really do.
That bit. I just want to hear your voice every day saying, I'm inclined to agree with Mike Gill.
Just today.
I'm inclined to agree with Mike Gill.
Doesn't happen too often.
I want that to be played as much as my damn McDonald's order got played in the beginning there,
Devontae Smith needs to have a big game today. Jalen Hurts needs to perform well. I'd like to see the Eagles move the ball. The Rams average about 25 points they give up a game.
Yeah, and they're the worst team in the league against the rush. They got a couple people out. We got some more people on the text message board too, on the StreamYard, excuse me. RJ actually earlier was pleased about the Sixers effort because we did mention the Sixers. And yes. Jeff Bone says, game day, boys, go Birds, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I love the Birds. Couldn't miss this. Got to be a part of it. So thank you, Jeff, for reaching out on the StreamYard as well. So, so you've changed your score now.
Yeah, I was going to.
But you never gave one out earlier.
No, but right. I didn't want to give it out early, but I'm going to give mine. I want to give mine now, then you can conclude. Since you're going to the game, we'll let you finish it off.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
All right. The Chargers give up 25 points a game. Herbert's a little banged up. The secondary's banged up. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
All right. I had them losing initially, but after talking to Grayson and the guru and seeing everybody else's excitement, some of the text messengers and whatnot, I'm going to take the Eagles are going to win this game 27-26, and the 1 point spread is going to go the other way. The Eagles are 1 point dogs. Right. They're going to cover and win the game outright.
27-26. Apparently, it's a
close game.
Field goal that wins it, right? Or maybe they're trailing 26-24, come down, kick it, win it.
Yep.
Everybody's happy. I have the Eagles winning 28-21. So I think they're going to win, and I think they're going to win by a touchdown. Grayson is the Eagles winning 27-20. That's why he and I were so close to each other. He said 27-20. Right. I said 28-21.
Wow.
Hartley, here's your 3 Chargers fans.
Not
3.
Fans.
I know 3 people that are picking the Chargers. Brian Hartley, our fantasy guru, thinks the Chargers will win 31-20. Jeff Kerr was on Mike Gill earlier in the week. He thinks the Chargers will win 27-24. Mike Carlin, Colonial Mike Carlin, says 41-27 Chargers. Now, Mark Grimes, Eagles 34, Chargers 10. Josh Hennig, 30 for the Eagles, 24 for the Chargers. And then Gill thinks that the Eagles will win 30-23. So he has that same 7-point margin I do, just a slightly different score. He thinks Devontae Smith will be the offensive game ball, and then Milton Williams will get the defensive game ball. And, Sal Pal, he always has Sal Pal on, Sal Palantonio, former Navy guy, by the way. Love Sal Pal.
Absolutely.
Sal never gives a number because I don't think that's the way that he rolls, but he does like the Eagles in this one. That was his.
I think Darius Slay has a big game today.
Big game Slay?
Big game Slay.
All
big
right.
play Slay.
Big play Slay. I knew it was something like
Fletcher
that.
Cox, I think, shows up in the sheet today.
Okay.
I think Fletcher Cox must have a big game.
You try to trade a guy, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, he's like you said. I think you're correct about that. He's going to show, like, people know it. People in the know that he was being shopped, and he's going to show them why he should be an Eagle.
You're a very generous man. You know what I mean? You're a very generous man.
Why do you say that?
Well, because you're agreeing with everybody. You're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with Gil. I mean, it's nice. That's funny. The Vikings players, I'm just scanning Twitter real quick before we sign off. Vikings players apparently were on the field wearing free Odell shirts.
Free Odell.
Because Odell Beckham Jr. is going to end up, he says he wants to go with a playoff team somewhere. And we never really did loop back to the Sixers. Boy, they had a heck of a game last night. And I enjoyed that immensely to watch them. That was Doc Rivers, what was it, his 1,000th win in the NBA.
That's correct.
And the list that he was on, Billy, that list is like all the notables.
What
you know
the
what I mean?
Sixers 7-2 now?
They are. And
is that amazing? Without Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Without Tobias Harris.
Well,
and now Matisse Thybulle's on the COVID list.
Embiid had 30 and 15. Furkan, big game for Furkan, including the 3-pointers. And then Shake Milton was good last night too. So, yeah, hey, they're getting it done.
All right, PT, you're heading up to the game. You excited? You
Just
pumped
like
up? You got a 3-point stance?
I'm excited, buddy. I may not sound it, but I'm excited. I'm fired up and ready to go. And I will be switching into my Harold Carmichael jersey. But
bring me a win, and if they do win, I won't go to a game the rest of the year.
Sounds good. I'm going to hold you to that. Yes, you're definitely the jinx.
Hey, thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner and the PT. It's Eagles Sunday. PT's on his way up. Bring us back a win. Let's go Birds, and let's go Pete Thompson. I'm excited. 4:05 start. Eagles pregame show right here at 3 o'clock, and then Mike and Merrill with the call. Pete, good luck. Bring us home a win, buddy.
I will. I'll get her done.
All right. Have a great week. I'll see you next Saturday right here in the locker with Billy Schweim.